This is a video on fetching transaction details from DLFabric Gateway. This corresponds to Section 9 of the user guide. Fetching transaction details post-invocation is the mechanism that the Fabric network provides so that users can reference permanent records of actions on the network. In order to fetch transaction details, a transaction ID will be required. We got a transaction ID in the previous video, and if for whatever reason you missed that, you can also refer to Section 8 of the DLFabric Gateway user guide. So what we'll do now is we'll go back to our previous example and show you the transaction response. So here we pass in the transaction ID, and if we take a look at my command line, the last API call we issued was this createCar function call, and we passed in these parameters on the FabCar video demo chain code. And down here what I've done is I called the API getTransactionInfo by transaction ID, passing in the transaction ID as well as the channel name, and what I get back is, well, car 1, Acura MDX, black, owner Francis. There is also some additional details here. So for example, here is the chain code name as well as the version. So you'll be able to keep track of what version of what chain code this transaction was issued on. One important thing to note is that you'll be able to call this same API and always get the same response regardless of when you do it. So this will never get overwritten, even if for whatever reason we updated car 1 to be some other car or changed owners or anything like that. That will all be done, and it'll all be done in a different transaction, and it'll give you back a different transaction ID, meaning that this reference will always be a permanent reference of what happened at this moment in time. So now you can see why this is an incredibly powerful tool, as it enables you to build a chronology of transactions rather than just a repository